Hello and welcome, Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Thursday to you. I thought I'd dive straight in with my daily Bitcoin price action analysis, looking at this weekly chart on Bybit, as you can see here. Now, I don't know if you remember me referencing this whole move. So the current bull run, which, as we all know, started following the FTX dump, whatever. That price action was over here. There's no FTX dump there, was there? Anyway, it's not the point. So, yeah, and then obviously there's been a sequence of weekly highs and lows going up there in an uptrend. Now, the point I'm making in a slightly long-winded manner is that whenever Bitcoin is consolidated, the weekly candle that led to further upside was a rather bullish looking one, much like this. That one sort of took it back to the top of the range. This one brought it back to the bottom of the range. That whole thing to me was a range. This bullish candle took it back up to the range, and then this was the breakout bullish candle. Up to here, consolidation, bullish candle, breakout. Now, so you can see that there was a bullish weekly closure that needed to take place before the range was broken. This is not the bullish candle you are looking for. I know I'm recycling the joke there, but I think the point I'm making is that it's now Thursday, and if I flip over to CME, it's green, but it's certainly not comparable to any of those previous candles that I just showed you on Bybit, but they're the same here. So yeah, that makes me think that unless something crazy happens tomorrow, and indeed it may, because there's still 1 day and 2 hours left for CME to close. And it looks like CME is going to have spent another week within this crazy range that dates back to the 4th of March. And indeed that would be, I think, 13 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This would be the 13th week. Now I'm prejudging, and one should never do such a thing, but I'm prejudging that this weekly candle isn't going to look all that much different come this time tomorrow when CME closes. All right, so let's get back into some more juicy stuff. Switch over to Bybit, still on the weekly, and you can see I've got my range. I say my range. This is it's just 3 lines. Well, how many lines? 1, 2, 3. There's 3 horizontal lines and 1 diagonal that I have personally drawn onto the chart. You can put lines whenever you want. These 3 make sense, or these 4 make sense to me. Just a quick recap, the MACD is still well above the 0 line, so momentum on the weekly is still to the upside, in my opinion. The daily's wedging itself in, isn't it? You can see a sequence, so all the kind of pattern gurus will be going, oh yeah, there's a wedge formation, so it's wedging out, man, it's wedging out. To be honest, I'm not into patterns, never have been, never will be, but yeah, there'll be people sort of doing this sort of thing, and maybe that will, or a flag or a wedge or whatever you want to call it. Maybe it will do that, but it doesn't really tell you anything about. All that does is just sort of gives you a picture of what the price action is doing, but that doesn't give you any indication as to whether or not it's going to break to the upside or the downside. No one knows. But if I just remove those by doing that, undo that work. It wasn't very hard. For me, this is a key level. Look, it's still on the daily chart. Look at this high here. Look at this price action here, and look where Bitcoin is, or has been. The last 3 days have managed to stay. So the last 3 days have had support. I mean, it's probably to like the dollar or something crazy at 60, just call it 67,000, but it's obviously can be more accurate than that. It's like 67.1 or 67.150 or something. This is exactly these highs too. So yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin can indeed turn back up from here, then you would expect probably the next move to be somewhere around these highs, maybe indeed close to 71,000. And then, you know, when that happens, so the daily momentum is still to the upside. So I should say, if that happens, daily momentum is still to the upside. I would suggest that if Bitcoin did get back up to these kind of areas, say 70,500 to 71,000, then 4-hour momentum would get back up too. Don't like the look of that 4-hour candle. When does that close? That closes in but 5 minutes. But yeah, you can see 70,500. That's still quite far away. That will probably come down more towards about 70,000, which on the 4-hour. Yeah, it's basically back up to here. So it was rejected there on the 4-hour, more or less. I think, you know, there probably will be another move to the downside following this candle. I don't know, but I think there probably will be. But if it can fail to get back, if Bitcoin fails to get 4-hour and daily closures back below 67,150, call it, then, you know, the wedge continues, whatever, the consolidation continues on the low time frames, and we'll see where it goes. And as I just pointed out, if Bitcoin can get back above 70.5, that would look good for another move up. Closures back below my little blue line here. Does not look good for a move above. And then probably the midline's in danger then around 65,000. Excuse me, while I put my voice back together. And clearly, as you can see, price action is getting very close to this diagonal. And the price doesn't care about the lines I draw on the chart. However, that would be a continuation in the same magnitude of an uptrend, but it doesn't matter. However, closures back below 65,000 on 4 hours and dailies, and then you're probably looking for further downside. And I would say initially support will likely be found around 63, and then probably come back to it after that. But that would be a change in character from this uptrend to something rather different, and so there'll be a whole different spin. But right now, I'd say Bitcoin's got a chance. It needs to get this 4-hour momentum up. If it can do that, yeah, more upside. But in the absence of that, and definitely with 4-hour and daily closures back below 67,150, but just call it 67,000. Yeah, but 4-hour momentum will be securely back down. And then daily's going to start to creep down then. It's going to start to get closer to the zero line. Zero line's a long way away at the moment, numbers-wise, but that will creep up as this line gets closer to the zero line. If daily momentum flips to the downside, well, it's just more range play. Just more range play. All right, there we go. That completes Simon's Thursday Bitcoin price action analysis. Oh, and by the way, never trust anyone who refers to himself in the third person, which I just did. I did it for comedy effect rather than anything else. Enjoy what's left of the evening. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if so, please like and subscribe. And you know the drill. If you haven't, don't come back tomorrow because I'll be doing it all again for CME's closure on Friday. What's going to look like? It will not be the bullish candle you are looking for.